have Oro.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker. I just want to contribute to the wonderful debates and presentations already made here by my colleagues. And just want to support the bill. Well overdue. Well overdue. It'll open up markets for our farmers. But in order for this to be successful, we need to ensure that we have the supporting infrastructure in place, the necessary facilities and capacity to be able to benefit as much as we can from this bill, of this law that we are about to pass. We also have to ensure that we have the necessary training facilities for vets, as pointed out by the good governor for Morbe. We actually have only 2 Papua New Guinean vets, and we don't have training facilities for vets in this country. This is a huge, glaring reality that we must confront and do something about. So I totally agree with the governor for Morbe in his presentation. I always learn something from the governor when he presents, including the fact that Krusako is nuts. I didn't know that, Governor, so thank you for that information. Anyway, continuing with my debate on this very important matter. One of the complaints that we have had is, how do we enter markets overseas? The markets of Australia, New Zealand, Europe, even China and other parts of Asia. And the fact is, they have very strict standards in regards to what they let into their country. We can't expect them to lower those standards for us. In fact, what we have to do is review what standards they have and put in place mechanisms to ensure that we meet those standards. And that's where the development of capacity is very important here. Our neighbors in the Pacific have done this. In fact, it's interesting to note here that Fiji's biosecurity protocols were constructed by Papua New Guinean scientists. They led that effort almost 10 years ago, under the watch of Dr. Sidney Suma, I believe. And he offered to do the same for Papua New Guinea about 10 years ago, unfortunately, his proposals fell on deaf ears then. But now you see Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, these small island nations doing very well exporting their crops all over the world. But now we are there. It's good to see that we have finally arrived, but there's a lot of work yet to be done, as alluded to by many of the members here in their debates. Developing capacity, training our farmers. Our people are natural farmers, but we farm for our own use or needs. What we need to do is train our farmers to be able to farm in a manner that is necessary for this bill to be successful, whereby they can be able to produce consistent quality supplies. In addition to that, I would like to say that there's a potential for a niche market that we can take advantage of, organic food. All around the world, because of globalization and rapid development taking place, improvement of technology, commercial farming, the use of chemicals and technology, most land is quite contaminated. Papua New Guinea's land is very much raw, untapped, uncontaminated, but it will not remain so if we're not going to carefully guard this reality. So besides this, we have to look at how we can guard this, how we can tap into this niche market, how we can train our farmers so that they can farm the products that are needed out there and that are much in demand in many of these economies. I would also like to add that I think some of the organizations need help. NARI is doing a magnificent job, but they need more funding. We do not put enough money into research and development in this area, into agriculture. We need to look at this. We need to do more for that. As for Nakia, on the other hand, I have to say that in the last 10 years, I've witnessed the demise of Nakia. When I was Commissioner of Customs, that organization was actually way ahead of all of us. It was way ahead of immigration, way ahead of customs, way ahead of all the other authorities in terms of how it was meeting regional and world standard. Those standards in Nakia have dropped significantly, and I want to say that this is because of the poor management of that organization over the last 10 years. So, Minister, you need to do a diagnostic review of that organization. That organization is going to be pivotal in you ensuring that this bill, these laws are successful. and that our farmers benefit, our nation benefits from the laws that we are about to enact now. And with that, I would say that you carry out an immediate diagnostic of that organization, a review, take an approach whereby it's a sick entity, it needs treatment, and this diagnostic will expose that. And you can get experts from around the world, even our neighbors, and they can help you carry out this diagnostic and completely overhaul that organization so that it can be a modern, relevant entity that is able to ensure that this bill and laws that we pass are meaningful and just. Thank you.